Hey guys, welcome to Gray, the podcast for those of us who are navigating this complicated world of military life alongside our partners. If you're looking for real conversations, genuine insights, and a community of seasoned mil spouses dedicated to supporting each other through every challenge, especially those WTF moments, and maybe even find a silver lining along the way, here we are. We're going to get real about the highs and lows of military life, share stories, and have candid conversations as we laugh our way through it all. This isn't just a podcast. It's a sanctuary where we can all find connection, strength, and the courage to be ourselves, no matter where the journey takes us. Grab your headphones and settle into our corner of the internet where you're not alone. Let's gather at Gray.
Welcome to Gather at Gray. Today, we're celebrating Galentine's Day and the power of female friendships. We've both brought our besties on to share hopefully suitable for work stories, laugh, and some much needed real talk on supporting each other in stressful times. And I would say living in a majillion different places away from them as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to have each of them introduce themselves. Y'all already know us. So I'll start with MM.
Hello, I am MM. Did I say my last name? Is that part of this? MM
You want to?
Alfong?
You don't have.
Sure. I'm MM Alfong, and I am Courtney's best friend, and Courtney's my best friend. Sometimes those don't always go the same way, so
That's
it's
true.
good to
Okay.
it's good
So
to say.
true, right?
Yes, sometimes it's one-sided. And we have known each other for a very long time, but before we get there, I will pass it over, but just introduce myself. So I think that was all I was asked to do.
Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm Charlotte. I am Tanya's best friend. I'm going to echo what MM said. Tanya's my best friend, and she is like stuck with me now. So I'm her best friend. She's my best friend. We're happy. Ha ha.
Listen,
Wait.
and I'm gonna tell y'all, real talk, we're both a little bit jealous. We're
Yeah.
kind of like selfish best friends. Like we have other friends, but like,
Oh,
But
that's
we don't
funny.
we don't share
I don't think
well
we
at all.
are.
No, we
Really?
share all of our, I think we share
Yeah.
all of our friends.
There
no, we
was a
share
moment-
friends. We'll share friends, but like, you can't get too
Okay,
close.
this is
Oh.
the story where
Yeah, that's fair.
Jerry. So when I first met MM, we were in our young 20s, so we didn't meet in college or anything. We met in New York City. We lived in New York City, and at that time, MM would keep her friends in groups. She would keep her work friends
As a
in her work
separator.
friend group,
That's
and her
right.
college friends in her college friend group, and her church friends in her church friend group.
That's
And
right.
all of y'all who are listening to this who know me, I'm like, no.
That's
no.
right.
It's a come one, come all.
That's
Like,
right.
We bring all the people together to hang out. And also, I need to vet these people.
I
right?
did not know they
mean,
would get along. I just
you didn't
thought,
think
for my
that-
own sake, listen,
You didn't think
we
we would
keep
get
it separate.
along?
Let's, you church people, you all know each other. I don't have to do a lot of work
Delicious.
mixing and matching. Like, we will all, it's all good. It took
Completely
a minute,
get that.
but yeah.
We
yeah.
do
Completely
now.
get that.
We do now. Now
We
everyone's
now-
everyone. Yes.
Yeah.
So we met when our husbands were stationed in Italy. So Charlotte's husband is a GS, Scotty's active duty, and
What's
we
a
met
GS, Tanya?
government service. He's a federal employee.
Thank you.
So sorry, he's a federal employee stationed overseas at the time, and we met through Anya.
Manya. And we bonded over having 3 boys, which if you have triple trouble, you know that you're like, you have 3 boys?
When I say we're selfish, again, like we welcome other friends, we include other friends, we introduce other
Absolutely.
friends, but like, again, that's my best friend. So like, you can be her friend, absolutely,
Very true. Very true.
absolutely. I am so happy for her to have other friends, but like, just so you know, that's my best friend. So
Okay.
And-
yeah,
and
not quite that for us.
No.
Oh, yes.
Man.
Well, Tanya and I wanted to do a Galentine's Day episode because we, between the two of us, have had several conversations about how female friendships have become so important to us. I was that super strong personality girl growing up who was a tomboy that was not in female circles. I was always on the outside of female circles and mostly was friends with boys. And I was always told that I was super intimidating. And it kind of gave me a complex going into college that I was like, why am I intimidating? There's nothing about me that I'm trying to be intimidating. It's just who I am. And then the older I got and the more powerhouse women that I met in different circles, I realized it was just a birds of a feather situation and we hadn't found each other yet, right? And then when you start finding them, you're like, oh, yes, we are. Yes, we are. We are not too much. If we are too much for you, then bye.
Go find less.
And beyond. Yes, God bless. Keep walking. It is not our fault that we are not. Anyway, so that's one of the reasons that MM and I became such good friends.
I will say, and you took some getting used to. That, like, we were not besties from the jump.
That's true. That is true. We weren't from jump.
Because I was always I had really great friendships as a child. Like, I felt like I was surrounded by boys were the ones that I, one, was told not to talk to, and two, just didn't feel as comfortable with. But I always was like, women, they're the best. And we are. And so Courtney comes in and she's all, Courtney. And I was like, okay. But Courtney is all heart. Like, you get to know her and you sort of understand how much she cares. And you're just like, oh, okay, so your bark is loud, but it's like you're a softie underneath all of that. And so once you get there, you're like, all right, we're good.
She's a Great Dane.
Yeah.
See? A Great Dane in a hoodie.
I think for me, it's interesting because growing up, I grew up in Oklahoma, you guys, it's not super diverse. Surprise. And so I always struggled with Black female friendships and relationships. Like, I just didn't relate well to Black women, or I won't say didn't relate well to them. They didn't like me. I was too in the gray, right? I was very comfortable in who I was and was not forcing myself into being more this or more that. And so that started changing in college. But like, even as an adult, like it was kind of hard for me sometimes to find like a close Black female friend. And then I met Charlotte. And I think one of the funniest things she's ever said to me, and I still laugh about it, was when she said, yeah, when I first met you, I was like, this woman is militantly Black. And I was like, Charlotte, I am pretty sure you are the only person in my life who would ever describe me that way. Y'all, I was the kid that grew up that was like, oh, look at Tanya. She's such an Oreo. I was like, I need to know more. Like, we need to talk more because I need to know how you're seeing me. Because, like, this is fascinating.
Okay. So let's put it in context, though. So, again, talking about this military life, and, my husband was an Army reservist who, once he got out of just completely out of the military, moved into a civilian job, federal civilian. So when we're coming into being overseas and we're coming into this military life almost like as a family of 5 and having really no idea what we're walking into. And we're seeing like this, I don't want to say like this lifestyle, but just really just having no awareness. And so we see like this entire blend of families and life experiences, and we aren't seeing a lot of cohesiveness with the Black kids. So my kids are making friends with a ton of kids, but just not connecting with other Black kids. And Tanya was like, let's change that. Our kids need to get to know one another. Let's change that. We're going to form a boys club. And within like, I want to say honestly, like within the first month of us meeting, Tanya had organized Bugs, which was Boys United Growing Stronger.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was, right. And so it was collectively like the moms. I mean, we brought these boys together so they could get to know one another and really start to vibe. And they started having, like conversations about things that they could not have in other areas or with other friends. It was just things like racial profiling or having a conversation about like code switching. And our kids were just now becoming aware of some of those concepts that, again, they couldn't have those conversations with their friends that couldn't identify with those situations. Right. And again, this is within like a month of meeting Tanya, where she was like, we need this, we're having it. We're meeting at my house. They're all coming over after school. And I was like, this is like the most militant blood chick I have ever met. So to get this version of people think I'm an Oreo, I'm like, have they met you? I was like, I don't know what I've gotten myself into. Because being on, honestly, the lighter end of the spectrum, I have gotten the comments where I'm not Black enough. Or what am I mixed with? Despite having parents that only identify as Black, and have constantly, my Blackness has constantly been questioned. So I've honestly met Tanya a little bit with trepidation, because I'm expecting for her, honestly, to do the same thing, because I'm getting this vibe from her that, our kids need to meet one another, and they need to be collective, and they need to be able to come together. And I'm like, she'll turn on me soon enough. It'll be fine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like that's so kind of interestingly enough that we had some of the same experiences from within our own culture that we learned later on kind of honestly drew us together.
Mm-hmm. And you guys know my kids are biracial. So like a big part of my wanting to bring this together was to help them not have the same experiences I had, and be able to form those friendships and those relationships that you really need to sustain you in hard times like now, right? So that was a lot of my motivation in being like, well, let's get these kids together. Let's help them build these bridges, because like we're saying, friendship and like relationship is what gets us through so many hard times. So,
well, MM isn't military connected at all. We are her really only.
What would be the word? The conduit? Like, I feel like I have learned a lot about the military through Courtney.
Yes.
And Brian. I did not want this to happen, I will just say. Like, when they first started dating, I was like, you said military? We're not doing that. Like, let's not do this.
And I will say now, her and my husband have their own relationship, and they love each other very much. So we'll say that full circle. But yeah, she was a no-go on me marrying an Army officer. And then there would be times along the way where she'd be like, remember when I told you not to marry an Army officer?
Well,
but we have thrown
I'm moving again. I'm like, well,
yes, yeah. It's our fourth move, and she's like, again. And Mem has come to every single home that we have lived in, every single one of them. And when we lived in Alexandria in Del Rey during COVID, which was not fun. And I mean, it was fun. We had a great time, but during COVID was not fun. And we would do things like she would come visit, and we maybe didn't tell her that Brian was getting promoted. And she walked in the door, and I handed her a dress and made her go to his.
You did not.
She did.
Courtney.
She did. I literally showed up. If you see what I'm wearing that day, it is a yellow blousey outfit from Courtney that I was like, I came from home. I could have brought my own clothes with things to wear. Surprise.
The disrespect.
Truly.
Okay. But it was COVID, and it was one of those things where we were like, can we have it? Can we not? Can we have it? We don't know. Are we allowed to
put it out as a possibility? Like, hey, this might be happening. Bring something to wear.
You're right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is not the surprise that you want.
I did her wrong, but man, is it one of the funniest stories. Like, the look, she's in all the promotion photos. And then the ones she doesn't know she's in, there's like a whole side-eye situation going on.
There are people who are watching this who were like, oh, how nice, you came for it. And I was like, did not know it was happening.
That's how you know it's a real friend, when you be like, hey, I love you.
Yes.
We're about to do a thing, and you're going to be mad at me, but it's okay. Let's go.
But I'm going to be mad.
All right, I think the funniest part about it is that my husband worked in the GAO building, which is the Government Accountability Office. And you walk in and you're like, are we going to live through this situation?
Meanwhile, I'm wearing yellow flowers on me. It's great. It was great.
Courtney, wait. This was one of your dresses? You own a yellow floral situation?
She did at the
It's
time.
rude. It's not. You strike me as like a yellow floral girl.
One of them.
And remember, I feel like she reached back in the back of her closet and was like, "Whole thing, or
Let's put you on." Listen, I haven't seen it since. I'll say that. Have not seen that dress since that day.
It lives at the beach.
Okay.
okay."
Only comes out for promotions here.
I mean,
Oh my gosh, that is awesome.
yes.
Now I'm just picturing like this like sunny beach dress at a promotion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're
And I
picturing
just
it right.
you have a never mind. That's a whole other side. I'm like, you have a deep closet, ma'am. That's what you went for?
That's what I was offered.
Yeah.
That's what I was offered.
Oh
Went with
my
it.
God. Y'all are making me sound like a terrible human right now.
But
Rude.
taking a
And edit.
oh,
Rude.
that's right.
Okay, to be fair, she wore parachute pants all of COVID, so do not come
It's
at me with
true. It's true. It's true. I did enough so that I feel like Courtney was like, "It's time for you to be done with these."
because this woman was not wearing anything with a waistband. Okay. She had 4 off button pants
It's
for
true.
all of
It's
COVID.
true. Yeah,
I respect that
that was
energy.
a tough time.
Right.
I think one of the things that's really interesting, and Charlotte, you know, you guys really get it, is military life is really stressful. There's always something, right? There's always something happening, whether it's a move or a deployment or whatever. And I can say since 2017 when we met, like 9 times out of 10 when the shit's about to hit the fan, I'm like, girl, Charlotte. And just the value of having friendships through all those stressful times. So let's talk about that a little bit more.
I mean, Courtney, I have seen them, as she said earlier, through like quite a few moves, all of your moves actually. Just
Mhm.
like it felt like you started dating, and by the time you were getting married, you were like, "I'm moving," and it has just been one move after the other. And so, for me, like supporting them and just showing up has been the only thing I can offer. It's like, I cannot tell the military not to move you, but I can come to you and we'll
Mhm.
celebrate Thanksgiving and you will be surrounded by the people you love, and I will continue my relationship with your kids and like my relationship with your husband. It just is like, that has felt like all I can give. It's just, I'll listen and cry. We're moving again. We're moving again. I'm coming to the Carolinas. Which one? The South? Great. We're going there. The North? Which we're going. Like, it just is,
I
it's
think
just
the
been,
funniest part was when you came to North Carolina. And then I was like, "Oh, it's been so many months." She goes, "No, you get one visit in a Carolina."
she wanted me to come twice. I was like, no, we do not come
She's like,
twice.
"I checked doing that again."
It's like, no, we're done with that.
It's true though. She has always become like a constant, which for my kids especially, she's a calming presence for them who also, as we know, go through all of these moves and new people and trying to figure out friendships. And Auntie Anne would walk through the door and, Cade, my middle one, she would be leaving after a visit and he would want to know how many days until she was going to come back. And this is the first time in their lives that we're now a train ride away. So unfortunately, now there's unrealistic expectations on him about being and everything. But that constant was throughout our whole family. And I think, I don't know if that's rare, but I don't feel a lot of friendships are willing to go through the hard times anymore. I mean, same with marriages and relationships and other things, right? People don't want to do the hard things, and so they just kind of let it go. MM and I we've had our moments, we've had our disagreements, but the relationship was more important. and the person was more important. And that, is something that it has been a steady throughout the last 18 year. I don't even know how many years. I don't even
Let's not say it.
know.
It's
We're old
fine.
now.
It's been a
We're
while.
old now. To where I think that was the most important thing for me with having is how it affected my family in a positive. Sounds like I'm saying negative, but how my boys are, she is their family, period.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been fantastic along the way. I mean, if you are able to have the steady person that you can go off to, that you can cry to, that you show up for, we have been through some not great moments of
Yeah.
life together.
Yeah.
And
My parents died 9 months apart, and
I'm so sorry.
and my dad died unexpectedly, and it was just one of those things. Like, just as I've been there for Courtney, just like I've showed up, like it's like just showing up for each other sometimes is all you can do. Like no one's expecting a big thing, just being there. And so flying for 1 day, 2 days to come to LA just to be there for celebration, and then the following year doing it again. Like at some point I was like, I swear to my manager, I'm like, we're done with no more parents, no one's dying again, we're done, like now that it's officially over. And so it's been also for me, and Courtney has also done the same for my family. Like she knows my sister lives in Florida, and like they become friends. Like they're like having their own relationship where they text each other without involving me, which I'm like, great, you guys do that. I think that's part of it. It's been not just her immediate family, not just our immediate family, but getting to the relationship building with like everybody else too. Like we're bringing everyone else together, which is lovely.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I'm sorry about your parents.
Oh,
I know.
thank you.
Listen, it's one of those moments. Charlotte lost her dad when she was in college. I lost my mom a year and a half ago now.
Yeah.
And so it's one of those things where I'm like, I know we always go, it's okay.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's still not. So
Yeah.
I just want to honor that.
I'm too young to be an orphan. I say that all the time. Like, just too young.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, when you said that, I immediately, like, my heart hurt and I smiled because Charlotte, okay, I'm not going to cry. Charlotte was a huge, huge support and getting me through losing my mom. Even to this day, I'll be in my car and I'll be like, hey, I don't want anything. I just wanted to call my mom. And, I can't. So what you doing? And she'll answer and she'll talk to me every time. And not only that, but like her mom sent me food when my mom passed. Like you said, it's not just that friendship and that relationship between the two of us, but that larger circle of love and support and relationship. I mean, her mom let me spend the night at her house when I was down in Jackson. We had a great little sleepover.
Oh, my mom's
I mean, I know, I was going to say, I love Courtney's.
Yeah. So, yeah, my mom's still, whenever I'm talking about Tanya, it's always, Tanya to stay with me, right? There aren't more Tanyas, but it is always Tanya that stay with me. Like, because, like, that just, she knows, like, and, Tanya, how's Miss Jessie doing? My mom does not sit down. She is a busybody and a very busy lady. And without even, like, she met Tanya at, I think, 8:00, 8:30. I said, okay, see you later. No, Charlotte. This is even our moms. I met your mom in Italy, remember? Because our moms were both visiting us in Italy at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my word. And we went to a cooking class together. And they hit it off like gangbusters. Like they were just having so much fun kikiing together.
Had an entire, like, we really were not involved. And we were both concerned because we were like, do you think that they're going to, like, are they going to actually cook? Are they going to actually talk? Our moms got together and literally had their own shebang together where we were like, hey, you could talk to us. Could you pull it? We did bring you here. Could you involve us? Because I love talking to Tanya's mom. And we've been together since Miss Tanya has passed. And Tanya knows we've had this conversation before, because we were having a conversation in the car, and a car passed, and we were sitting in my car, and the lights in my car went out as we were talking about Tanya's mom. And it was just such a firm message that her mom was there with us, that there was like no question.
Oh, I love that.
And it didn't feel creepy to either one of us. We were both like, see, I told you Miss Tanya agreed with me. It did not feel like, it was just like, that's right. See, Miss Tanya knows I'm right. It felt like I had Miss Tanya on my side, and it's wonderful to have a friend who doesn't question those moments, or doesn't, make you feel like you're losing it, because you do believe in spirits, you do believe in the afterlife, you do believe that our loved ones are still with us and they're still walking with us. But the friends that know us well enough to know when we just need someone to just sit with us. Like Tanya has been with me when I've been trying to get my son getting ready for college, which was really difficult for me because I thought we were prepared financially, and we were not. And, it was one of those things where I just felt like a very terrible parent. Like, how can I not be able to give to my child? And it feels like I thought I'd done everything right and had done nothing right. And here we are without being able to try to give to my child. And, just having a friend to just sit with me, not to say words, not to offer platitudes, just to sit and just let me cry, that those are those hard moments that our friends love us through. Having that relationship to get through those hard moments. Like you said earlier, Courtney, sometimes people don't want to do the hard work, and if they don't know their friend well enough, you might just feel like you need to just talk through that or give them a hug. I don't need that. I need someone just to sit with me. And I think having that relationship is what has gotten us to this day, where just being able to say, hey, I'm there. I'm a phone call away, a flight away, I'm a text away, having those good memories to carry you through, but being able to sit in those hard moments too.
Yeah, I love that. I love moments when our loved ones show up. Like Courtney and I had something similar when I went to Greece for my big birthday, and we went because my mom really wanted to go and she never got to go. And at the airport, Court and I were talking, and this lady, older lady with her husband, had just been listening to us, and before she left, gave us these two tiny angels, and she just was like, the two of you have such wonderful spirits, and I just had to give you these angels. I get these angels. Bless, they're like these charms. And I was like, I've been waiting to see how my mom would show up. And we both were like, oh God, this is it. We're going to the right place. We're doing the right thing. I love that. I love it when they just show up. They're still with us.
I got chills. They are.
It was such a, we were just staring at each other like, how is this possible? How is this what happened?
Yeah.
And she was just like, have the best time.
Yeah.
Y'all are so wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, this woman could barely walk.
I know. Yeah, they had to get her
barely walk.
a wheelchair.
Yeah. She got them blessed and had them. Said she would have she would buy them and then bring them to the altar of the church in the village she's from Greece, so in her village. And she would leave them to be prayed over for several weeks. And then she would go pick them up. And then she would give them specifically to people who she felt, really needed that moment. In an airport lounge. JFK.
I know. Yeah, it was really special. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
Great way to start.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I think, I don't know, you guys, it's the common thread here. It's like the support, but like also the support through the distance, right?
Yeah.
Like that we are all of a certain age. I think we're all about the same age. And so one of the greatest gifts I think that comes with our generation is the fact that like distance is not a limitation, right? When we left Italy, we went to Connecticut. Charlotte left Italy, went to Germany, right? So like we were still separated for a long time and just continuing to have those check-ins. And like you said, and Courtney, those visits and those constants and how powerful that is in sustaining a relationship, but also in growing it, right? And having that connection that you can lean on no matter where you are in the world. I know we see that a lot with our military spouse friends, but there's something really grounding and special about it when it's a friend who is not as connected to the military or is not connected to the military at all. So it's making that choice to like engage in this relationship, because I think one of the things that we hear people say a lot, and I have literally had people say it to me, guys, is, oh, well, you guys are military. I don't really want to, you're just going to leave.
Yeah. They hold you at
Ow.
arm's length because they know you're transitory, right? That has been very much my experience. And it's always been interesting because I've always said where I currently live in New York, we lived here previously, and I always said I'm going to move back there.
They're coming back.
And I just remember other people being like, yeah, and ma'am, you might need to give that dream away. And she's like, definitely no. And it happened. Here we are. And I remember the first few months. I mean, she came up when my husband wasn't living here yet. And we were living in boxes because it was me and the kids had to start school and they were in football and the this and the that. And it was every day and it was only me. And one Saturday she came up because I didn't have a bed. And I remember walking in, she's so snarky sometimes. She goes, oh, we really...
She said it was a mess and she was not kidding. It was.
So she spent her whole Saturday building my bed.
Your
And
bed.
the boys are like Johnny Bench. They're rolling in and out. Where are you guys in this process? I'm not going to help at all. Just checking in to see where you are in this process. And like, yes, pieces. Come on. But it took us a few months we would be like, oh, wait, we can do that now. Oh, wait, we can see you now. Oh, wait, I can pop down for your get together that I haven't been able to do in 15 years.
Yeah.
So that has been also just a wonderful exhale recently that I'm popping down to the city this evening, actually, to go to a dinner
to
with
crash another friend's dinner. My friend.
It was previously,
which is, it's like, it's
was
the circle. The
previously in
circle
another
gets
box.
bigger. I know.
Let's get that box down.
Yeah, the boxes are all flat. Everyone's getting together.
We like our boxes. We're still functioning on our boxes over here.
Don't have boxes. It's a flow. It's just there's a circle around the two of us.
Yeah.
So everybody else can mingle. It's fine.
Hilarious.
There's pocket. Where's what we have? We're pocket.
Yeah.
I love that though. I do. I just want to say to you, Charlotte, and to you, MM, like, we are so grateful for you guys and for your friendship and your support and your willingness and your being the aunties to these children that we are raising, and the sounding board when we're like, I know you're not gonna know everything I'm saying, but guess what the military did today?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
you don't have to
GS?
understand, but you still let us go, because that is so valuable. It's so important, and it allows us to really be ourselves, the entirety of ourselves, in a way that we don't always get to do.
That's beautifully said and very, very true.
We're so grateful to you guys for joining us today. Guys, we hope as you're listening that this episode reminds you to celebrate your friends, the strong, powerful, amazing women in your lives. Text your bestie. Plan a Galentine's brunch if you can. And just keep lifting each other up. Keep supporting one another. Make sure you're connecting in person if you can. I know I'm a little sad I don't get to a Galentine's brunch with my girl because she's up there. So reach out, build your relationships. Make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. and on your wherever you're listening to your favorite podcast. And if you do something with your friends within the entire month of February for Galentine's, tag us. We want to know about it. Use hashtag Galentines with Gray. We want to see what you guys are doing and getting up to. Thank you guys for listening.
That's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to continuing to provide a space to get real about both the challenges and the beautiful moments of living this military life. We hope you find support and, of course, some laughs. Remember to follow us on the socials, and don't be afraid to join the conversation. Until next time, this is Gray.